It looks like we're moving the whole tithe towards our home sector. Apparently the position of the tithe has been compromised and is not allowed to remain here any longer. There's some sort of other archivist in here that apparently is working against the Arbites and caused an alarm, meaning that if that alarm is triggered, a huge bomb inside of the center of the planet will go up and just blow up the whole tithe so nobody gets their hands on it. So that's the alarm that's blinking right now. That's the situation that we've stopped, and we're gonna go and see if we can negotiate, talk to the person in charge, or whoever it is. It would be funny if it's just AI. That collector, if it's just a wild machine spirit. Something like Mr. House, or what was his name was in Fallout New Vegas? Was it Vegas? Where a robot computer was doing the things? I can't remember. Dragon Lady, how you doing? Welcome in. Lots of goods already. Yay. I love me loot. Oh, it is! Watcher Lethus. A human torso is built into the massive conjugator, countless cables entangled. Unidentification, Rogue Trader Von Valancius, initiating the final stage of the Oblivion Directive. You have arrived at last, offspring. At last, everything ends. Go on, take the last step, confirm the execution of the directive, and in doing so, destroy Lethus. Take its riches and free me from this unbearable vigil. Were you the one intruding my conversation with Victus prior to our landing? Yes, indeed. I needed to exchange codes with the flagship in order to identify the vessel and its owner. What is going on? You really don't know? Did she choose not to tell you, or did she not get the chance? It doesn't matter anymore. Yours is the blood of the dynasty, and so I'm compelled to give you this answer. Supreme Ordinance. The arrival of the head of the Von Valancius dynasty with the purpose of the complete extraction of the tithe trigger, the immediate activation of the Oblivion Directive by the Watcher of Lethus. At the moment of the directive's activation, the machine spirits of the initiation system are bound to Promethean proxy class Cogni Shackles. The Cogni Shackles cannot be removed by any means. The directive guarantees the Rogue Trader's acquisition of the planet assets and the destruction of Lethus, presented by being caused by the actions of the enemies of humanity. What? Mithril, good morning as well. Welcome in. So, he got an automated system built in, then when Von Valancius bloodline stops in here, they automatically go into full explosion mode. So Lady Theodora intended to steal the tithe from the start. She arranged the world's destruction to cover her tracks, installed a servant to keep an eye on things, and even made a contingency plan in case of her own death. Wow. All she needed was an opportune moment like this one, with the expanse being torn apart. The planet's death looks convincing. Wow. Okay, I did not expect that turntable. I mean, Theodora was kind of, you know, very corrupt and you know, all kinds of scheming involved, but ooh. You want me to claim the tithe for my own? I've long since been robbed of the luxury of freely expressing my thoughts. I'm merely quoting Theodora's plan. This qualifies for a culprit confession, except the culprit herself is dead, and judging this creature would be pointless. Still, we must decide what to do next, Rogue Trader. Here is where I stand. Later, Theodora has violated the Lex, and the Marshal should be informed of her crime. If you're loyal to the Imperium, you will send a tithe to the Administratum and tell Marshal Strax of the events of Lethus. Lopez, how you doing? Welcome in. I guess I could lurk. I still have questions for the Watchers of Lethus. Are you a servitor or something different? Something entirely different, offspring. A prisoner of my own mind and these machines. Do not let my manner of speech deceive you. I am only following the orders vested in me. The part of my brain that controls my ability to converse and holds the scraps of my personality was severed from my violation centers and locked into a cage of functions and limitations. So you can think for yourself? Calling it thinking would be an overstatement. Imagine a corridor with all the doors locked except for one or two. That would be my consciousness. Yes, a dark, suffocating corridor with fading pictures of memory and nail scratches on the walls. Wow. Wow. All the energy to you, Lopez. All the energy to you. Why were you consigned to such a terrible fate? I was a threat to Theodora's rule, and she had my brain dissected. A suffocated sentence to be humiliated, to live in suffering, yet continue to serve the dynasty. Wow. You crave death. That is not typical for thralls who have no will of their own. What does it matter what I crave if I am doomed to follow orders? Yes, I need you to complete the Oblivion Directive and trigger this station's shutdown, so that I can be set free. And yet, in all these years, I have done nothing but to bring death closer. I can wait an eternity longer, suffering, but infallibly obedient. I have other questions. Why do you call me offspring? What else should I call you? The heir of the dynasty's throne, a young descendant. You may have grown used to people prostrating themselves before you, but me, you are just a child. Who are you? This is one question I cannot answer. Theodora did not wish anyone to learn the name of he who was become the Watcher of Lethus. Logic. Very well, but if Theodora were to order you to tell her your name, how would you respond? The man says nothing for a long time, and the air sound of the conjugator grows noticeably hotter. I would say, dear sister, what a silly question. It is me, Darius, your older brother, whom you condemned to eternal torment. Wait, what? How could Theodora have a brother? Everyone would know about you. Had I been a legitimate child, yes, they would have written my name in gold into the dynasty's chronicles. However, my mother's origin, as well as the certain of other circumstances, were damaging for House Montbalancius, and so my inclusion into the family hit a snag. Wow. Holy crap. When Theodora was young, I was brought to Dargonus to be trained for the role of seneschal. When she became the rogue trader, she refused to recognize me as her kin. She needed an obedient servant who wouldn't challenge her rule. Had I behaved myself, perhaps Theodora would have condensed to call me her brother and her an heir on her deathbed. Why were you punished? As Theodora's senior relative and direct heir, I could lay claim to her throne, and I did. I intended to kill her and declare a search for her successor, and while it went on, to enter the Warren Chamber and assume the rogue trader's title by right of blood. Theodora exposed my plan, executed anyone who had taken part, and turned me over to the tech priests. I see. I see. You have yet to ask me how your sister died. I cannot ask questions about anything unrelated to my function. Now that you have brought it up yourself, however, no, I do not want to know. I've heard that she died by chance at hands of an unworthy opponent. I would be gravely disappointed. After all, I've always solaced myself by believing that Theodora was someone extraordinary, and only because of this she was able to beat me. Okay, enough about that. I've decided what to do with the tithe. Then announce your decision. I will not overstep the Imperium's law. The tithe must go to the Administratum. Oh, the irony. Theodora's great plan, foiled by her own heir. The rogue trader has spoken. The barges will go where he has decreed, and the Watcher of Lethus has served his purpose. I had hoped that I would feel relief. I know that it's here, locked inside my protocols, and she wanted me to know and not feel. The Watcher's head hits his sunken chest. Even a moment of his death, he was denied the elation of freedom. The bit screens of the conjugated flicker, trying to process the influx of data, then fade all at once. Oh! Oh my goodness! What is happening? Big bada boom. Oh, Lethus is actually exploding. We could not stop it. Does it mean I missed the loot up top? Oh, I got the loot in that chamber. I'm standing there with that Mexican Death Skull mask. Wow. Oh, we are in space. I see. So we're in that station seeing the whole planet go boom. So, let's have a look in here. What is this? Lady Theodora's mantle. At the start of the worst turn, if there are more enemies than allies in combat, where it deals 20% more damage with melee weapons. Okay. Very intriguing. Very intriguing. Is there money to be made? Satana, mengkatsash. It's been a whole life cycle. Where have you been? Melee weapons. Not really doing melee weapons here. Could be something for you, potentially. Let's grab that. There we go. Nice pelt. Nice pelt. So lovely to see your name pop up. How are you doing? Tax of opportunity, inflict, immobilize. There's a higher block chance. It's okay. It's okay. Hey there, Draz, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. Bloody Mentor. Ooh. Nice mace. Tearing Vengeance. Nothing up there is for you to use. How about you? Is that axe anything better than what you have? No. Nope, nope, nope. Return to the void ship. Lord Captain, your immediate intervention is required. The barges you sent to Dargonis have been attacked by enemy ships that just emerged from the warp. Prepare for battle, I'm coming. Straight up. Straight up. We're taking them apart, whatever's happening. Okay, I did not expect that Lady Theodora has a brother, illegitimate brother, and makes him in this kind of semi-servitor. Who knows how many cycles he was captured in that.
Ever crossing our path.
Whoa, Imperial Universe class. I see. So these are the Tithe ships. Jesus, they're big. There's some coming from behind, with two coming from the front. If I go all the way over here, can I reach him? No, I can't. So what we gotta do is maximum overdrive. Increases by 2 the speed, so I can go 2 more tiles. That would be enough to hit it, I think. So let's go maximum overdrive. Oh, I should have done that before. My bad. Looks like I cannot move out. Then let's send out some interceptors. Put my shield to the front. And play around with the warp by turning that ship around. Done. So, interceptors, how long is your range? I think you might be able to come up here and shoot them. Ah, one tile. Shame. Shame, shame, shame. Okay, they're fully going on the TIE ships. Has the advantage that will explode and hit the others as well. Okay, the Heartless is taking care of those. More enemy ships arriving. Oh boy. There's probably enough from the log to proudly announce that I played Warhammer 3, my partner, and we did a Slanesh campaign and we feed our way to the top. I'm proud of you, Satana. I'm proud of you. I want a picture of that if you have screenshots. You definitely did not grind that game till 1 AM. Are you that hooked? That's nice. So, I think the Heartless will be able to take care of this, whatever is going on. So, let's make new heading. So I'm gonna go up until here. And then move to the front.
Engage the engines.
And then send out a torpedo into that direction. Very good. The other one got a little bit damaged or not? Doesn't seem so. Warp jump in 3. So I'm gonna turn you around, so you have to go through the asteroid fields. Very good. So let's make a vulnerability scan on you. You seem to be the biggest ship. Right flank. Okay. So we have right flank vulnerability. And with that we're good. So my little starfighter. Go all the way around. Oh, shield is gone on this side. Nice, the Astro did a little bit of damage here. It's problematic though, because it seems like these are focusing on the front line and don't care for what is coming from behind. Good, I'm gonna boost the torpedo control. So I'm gonna come up here and explode into you. Oh, it took out the whole area. Oh, that was good. Really nice shot. Then salvo flank shots. Shooting in there. You're taken out. Oh my goodness, it was a nice crit. That was a nice crit. I could go and ram it. So we're gonna move towards this side. There we go. And then straight up ram into it.
No mercy for the enemies of humanity.
Bam. There we go. Look at that. So that's that. Let's turn you around. So we'll have a time to swoop towards them. And that's that. My starfighters. Let's move in. Moving all the way around. Ah, boy. Conveyor's getting hard hits from that side. It's not good. Korma class or human ships? Yeah, I think these are pirates. I think these are pirates who are trying to Intercept the tithe. More ships are coming. In this zone, transport ship can make safely the jump. Okay. So we're getting 4 ships coming up from front. The Heartless is turned around. The Sword class frigates are semi-turned around. Okay. Can my ships make it? If I turn around, the whole danger from front becomes in nasty potentials. I'm gonna send you out. And maybe we can help at the back side a little bit. And we're gonna move up here. I'm gonna scan you. See what kind of direction we get. And I'm gonna flip you around. So you have a harder time to come up. Very good. I'm gonna keep doing that flipping. There we go. Exactly. So they have a harder time to do a full frontal assault on them. Initiates the process of restarting the shield. The shield will be stored at the start of the flagship's next turn. Let's do that. Shield recharge. Done. No, no, no. Starfighters needs to go down. Down, please. Focus on these fellas. I mean, the only advantage here is that the big ships are also moving forward. It's good. Yes, Heartless is coming up to them. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, we're in a good round now. We're in a good round. Type ships are fairly tanky. That is also true. They could probably uphold the damage that they got by moving up here. So, let's take a land shot. Around. Dorsal gun. It's burning. Is one gonna die next turn? Most likely. And I want to move up as close as possible and poop out the torpedo. Let's increase the range so we can take a shot on somebody else. Like this frigate's up there. Oh, beautiful. Then I'm gonna turn the frigate in the middle. Perfect. Sadly, I cannot interact with my torpedo. Because that would have been amazing. I can shoot the lance gun one more time. That took out that part of the shields. The dorsal gun even works, so I could take out the middle ship and the explosion would hit both. Okay. And from that, we're gonna boost strong to the left, so the explosion of this here hopefully does not hit us. And we take a shield boost on the right side. Good, we get some wing support. I'm gonna move over here with you guys. Get fuel for 2 more rounds. Yeah, we're not. I don't think we're gonna make it to the. Greetings, Jareth. How you doing? Be blessed by the God Emperor's light. Enjoy the content. Thank you, kindly. So, the Heartless is taking care of the back end. I'm happy about that. Oh, you moved up to this side. I'm gonna focus on the other ship though. So I'm gonna use the torpedo to go one up. And then self-destruct over there. Beautiful. That means I can shoot in a side salvo. Taking out that ship. Now we're shooting with the lance into your buttocks. To take out that shield. Oh, that was a nice crit at the end. And another salvo goes in. Boom, baby. Okay, I'm not sure where and what will happen, so we're gonna reposition ourselves over here.
Helmsman, take us in.
And we're just gonna wait. Over there, is that ship damaged? It is damaged, so I can use some warp energy on it. Very good. And we're good to go. My little winged ship. They'll be gone from our sword class. I hope. Come on, Heartless. Oh, they're running? Well done, Heartless. Let's go. So they want to jump and flee. I'm gonna move around here to protect their ass, just in case. Okay, that one ship has jumped. We have two more. Why is the other one not going? Is that little interceptor next to it stopping it from going? You're not running anywhere. Kaboom. Oh, nice. We straight up won. We don't have to wait for them to come in. Fair enough. Fair enough. We defended the tithe. All enemy vessels destroyed. When will these upstarts get the message? You attack a rogue trader, you'll be floating in the void like a dead rat in the lower deck super. What of the barges? Successfully translated into the warp and are now on the way to the designated coordinates, Lord Captain. Who were they? Well-coordinated and well-equipped signatures. These weren't some nameless void rabble, they were professionals, mercenaries, Lord Captain. How did they know where we were? Traitors. Some of them had infiltrated the crew. A dozen voidsmen, a few officers, and thrown even one astropath. That eyeless scumbag sent his mates the system's coordinates when we arrived. The ship must have been patrolling this region in hopes of discovering Lethus. Where are these traitors? I wish to interrogate them. The Master-at-Arms handled their interrogation personally, and she managed to break the most resistant ones. In short, we learned that they wanted to destroy part of the tithe and retreat. Strange behavior for pirates, wouldn't you agree? The last one spat out a cryptic warning along with the entrails. By the time you get back to Dargonus, it will be too late. Oh shit. Report received. We're moving out. Marshal Strax must be told about what happened here. By the time we're going back, it is too late. Oh, this is not good. This is not good at all. What could he mean? What could be it? Dargonus is over there. Yeah. Let's go straight up warp travel over there. Visit. Let's see. Let's see. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed nothing too bad happens. Come on. Fly faster. To Dargonus. Urgent report, Lord Captain. The barges carrying the tithe have been seized and are heading off in an unknown direction. Multiple sources are voxing the flagship at once. I detected the signatures of several noble houses and the Administratum. Who dared seize the sacred tithe? We're getting reports. Of it being an order of the Adeptus Administratum, we have received several official forms to the effect that Dargona's orbit is currently deemed unsafe for TIE storage due to an unspecific threat that has sprung up under the world in your absence. What do the noble houses want? The message of no structure or cause, professions or loyalty, audience requests, even pleas for leniency. One thing is clear, Lord Captain, something has agitated the upper echoes of nobility. In other words, they're scared. What does the Administratum message say? You're requested to come to the Palace of Justice in person. The prefect speaks of terrible heresy that is threatening the Von Valence's protectorate. What do you see, Solomon? It seems the law faltered on Dargonus as soon as its master left it unattended. The disjoint reports from the ground sound strange, if not outright suspicious, but only you can put an end to an heresy on your own planet. You're right. Vigdis, prepare a shuttle for me and my retinue. As you wish, my lord. Man. One Valence's throne room. Is there anything else that I can build here? I think we did the building things completely, right? Let's quickly check. Vibos. All. Kiavagama. All. Dargonus. Decree of Diligence. I'm not gonna do that. Janus. Thank you. Yes. Yes. What was that on Janus? Something was red. Fellowship of the Void? Yeah. So, let's move in. I really hope that Dark Heresy is getting a lot of performance structure updates, that we don't have so many loading screens. Rogue Trader Von Valences, welcome back to the Palace of Justice. What happens? What is happening? And what is the cause of panic? And why this private conversation? That is why you're here, is it not? To learn why the world is distressed, why the air is charged with Vox transmissions. Any administrator worth their station would be concerned. Disruptions to establishing process always lead to... no matter. The prefect peers at your face. Her voice sounds strange, deeper, calmer, less contagious than usual. Have you ever pondered the nature of heresy, Von Valences? Perhaps, to your mind, heresy is merely limited to Xenos, Warp Spawn, and Insurgent. But there are other heresies whose existence is far more easily forgotten. Those of negligence, of avarice, of confusion, and disorder. What are you getting at? Rogue Trader Kormakrtv Von Valences, in accordance with the amendment... Oh! 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 With the amendments of Decree 6498-DF issued by the Adeptus Administratum and the Adeptus Arbitis, you stand accused of countless heresies that threaten the sacred tithe and well-being of the Protectorate. All related statements have been formulated and evidenced of your crimes registered. The proceedings will commence as soon as you and your accomplices present yourself as the accused. A trial awaits you, Kormakrtv. Dragon Tier Letter? Love the name. Welcome aboard. What? This was all one carefully orchestrated spectacle, wasn't it? The prefect was about to turn away and stomps a glance back at you with a fatigued look. What? You spied on me. You knew of every word I said. How does it feel to sneak glances at whom you could never hope to become? Your taunt hits its mark. An angry grimace passes over the prefect's face. She immediately recomposes herself, but it's too late. You saw how much your word have offended her, and she knows that you called her reaction. Unsubstained conjecture mixed with an inflated sense of self-importance, I'm honored to do my duty wherever his will commands me to do. Ah, good morning, Dragonland here. How you doing? Oh, you have been here already, Dras? Yeah, we've been very dogmatic, and still we get accused by heresy. Just admit it, you set me up. I shouldn't have tried to hear you out, Rogue Trader. She gives a nod to the arbiters, signaled them to escort you to the accused stand. Oh, I can attack her? As they say, innocence proves nothing. Very true. God damn it. I'm not gonna attack her. 55% chance to do so. Allow yourself to be escorted. We're gonna... Can we save here? Is this... So be it. Let's see what you have prepared for me. Oh, she was hoping that I will attack her. Let's see. In the name of the God Emperor, the von Valancius dynasty stands accused of betraying the Imperium. The trial is public so that all may see the Rogue Trader's heresies and know that status and power are no shield against righteous punishment. Marshal Strax, you have the floor. State the list of crime against the Lex Imperialis that we'll examine it here today. With practice skill, Strax's voice reverberates through the hall. Conspiring to steal a sacred tithe, undermining the legitimate authorities of an imperial world, involving sorcery and damage to the tithe, conceiving and executing plans to disrupt sector-wide tithe shipments. Let's listen. Strax finally finishes listing your crimes. There's a momentary pause in the hall. In the eyes of the Inquisition, everyone is a heretic. They just might not have committed the heresy yet. Well said, Jared. Let the record show that the defendant disregarded the opportunity given him to repent, which only adds to the gravity of his guilt. We will proceed to the examination of the individual heresies committed by the defendant. You little... I thought I'd like be respectful and let the dudes, you know, throw out the list and then let me respond to it. But no, she uses that immediately against me. You little... Look at that. Look at that lady. I'm not against violence. I'm against violence. But I would so punch this lady in the face. Ah. Look at that creepy hand on the shoulder, top right. Amusing they can just shoot up the whole hall. I applaud Alcaz for giving us the option, though. That is true. You can just go completely bonkers. Conspiring with the captain of the Heartless to steal the sacred tithe. Upon arriving on Ranked Minrose, the Rogue Trader aided Captain Sargona in loading the tithe onto his ship under the cover of the planetary riot. kormakrtv later eliminated his accomplice using Adeptus Administratum force led by Proctor Amthar. The Proctor attempted to appease the Rogue Trader's greed by offering a frigate known as the Heartless in exchange for the safety of the tithe. Then the Rogue Trader boarded the ship in an attempt to seize the tithe. His actions led to death of a squad of arbitrators. Proctor Amthar alone survived the Rogue Trader's murderous ploy. kormakrtv personally eliminated his accomplice, Captain Sargona, in order to destroy the evidence of his schemes. Do you have anything to say in your defense? I can put appeal to your own common sense, Marshal Strax. Can you recall even one instance where a heretic attempted to steal the tithe while taking a few dozen arbitrators along for company? It is certainly an unorthodox tactic, perhaps even suicidal. No, I can recall no such cases. Let a new charge be added to the records, attempting to manipulate an official. Marshal, I hope I do not need to remind you of your duty. Oh my god, is she a... Apologies for the word. Is she a cunt? Jesus. According to the calculations of the tithe transferred from the Heartless to the Administratum was short 3 units of volume. It is presumed that the Rogue Trader did not risk seizing more in the presence of the Proctor, but even on once unaccused for makes the tithe incomplete. Let's move to Tassera. This world underpaid the appropriate tithe amounts, a crime that should have been remedied by the Rogue Traders escorting Proctor Anthar. To that backward world, Proctor, you are hereby called to testify. Describe what happened on the planet. When we arrived in Tassera, the Rogue Trader and I were drawn into the machinations of the planetary governors. He used sorcery on the Emperor's Anointed, but the Rogue Trader managed to overcome the effects of the ritual and to battle with the heretic. The governor was executed, and we... A lie uttered in the Palace of Justice is a serious offense, Proctor. Later, retrieved recording Tassera 84 Alpha. Whoa, this game seems to delve into the lore more than any other Warhammer 40k game. Coffee Tune, it does. Alkit did a fantastic job with this. And they're also working on the next title called Warhammer 40k Dark Heresy, where you play as an inquisitorial acolyte. I have a lore video about that if you want to check it out on YouTube, about the Inquisitor that you're going to be working for. There's some gameplay contents for it, and also there's a VOD already out with everything that is known in the internet, and from specific exclusive B-rolls that I got from Alcat, because Alcat and I are good friends, so they very often give us nice behind-the-scenes footage that is not public available. They bring up a lot of stuff that is obscure but relevant. That's true. I'm curious if they managed to damage Glider or manipulate him. Let's see what Glider pops out. The prefect nods to the marshal, who removes the device from his belt. The press of a button, and Glider responds with a sharp metallic clang. The Sabermastiff paws carry him to Strax. The Sabermastiff's entire body begins to tremble, his feet clawing up tiny sparks, and then he projects a picked recording from his eyes onto the floor. Oh, he's like doing an R2-D2? Coffee Tan, welcome aboard, by the way. For the Emperor. If you want to pay the tithe, please use your Prime sub over here so you can have your chainswords to spread over the internet of Twitch. The footage depicts a scene from Glider's viewpoint. The quality is terrible, but you can make out the hall where the sculptor is conducting a sinister ritual. You see Maeve interfere with the ritual, and the beam of warp energy connecting the two of you. You hear Solomon command, the scene changes, and you see Maeve, or rather yourself in Maeve's body, wandering through the streets of Tassera. The next clip brings you back to the hall where Solomon is firing on the altar. The events in the recording are echoed by a dragging pain in your muscles and a fog in your head. Solomon's face turns lifeless, his knuckles white. I thought my wholehearted loyalty to the Lex was obvious, but you were monitoring me, keeping tabs on me like some kind of outsider, like a non-arbitrator. You even dragged Glyto into it too. It would have been the better if you'd installed your damned recording devices in me. As we can observe, Proctor Antha destroyed the heretical altar and the fight ensued in which the Psyker died. There is not a single shred of evidence that the Rogue Trader actually overcame the sorcery. It is more likely that the person standing before us is a heretic and a creature of corruption. Did you watch the entire recording? Notice any difference in behavior? Did you? Well. You seem to be offended by the insinuation that you are prone to fainting spells. Well, it is quite strange. Marshal! The old woman stares at the arbitrator without blinking. as if hypnotizing him, finally convincing that the Marshal's conversation with you is over before it even began. She returns her papers. The prefect leaves through a few pages in a folder.
The court also takes note that the pernicious effects of the rogue trader handling the Emperor's servants entrusted to his authority. Since arriving from Tassera, the rogue trader has done his duty by passing judgment on several subjects within the walls of this hallowed hall. On the rogue trader's orders, both the doleful host and the master prior were executed. The ecclesiarchy make an official statement of the condemnation, as killing militant devotees of the faith is autonomous to abetting heresy. Meanwhile, a new trollmaster lost several messages of utmost importance on his very first day of service, thus sparking a war between two Corona's Expanse worlds. As of now, one of those worlds has been completely destroyed and the other deemed uninhabitable.
Where's she pulling that out?
Allow me to read out the decisions of the honored representatives of the Saint Joseph's mission. We brand the one who dared subject Envilis and the holy votary of the faith to a martyr's death, a heretic, and an associate to evil of every kind. Mortmoles, deemed to be alive, committed a transgression of soft-heartedness in running his family enterprise. He released all his convicted workers and terminated the contracts with his primary suppliers, citing their moral qualities. His actions resulted in 12 kilotons of undelivered food rations across several recipients.
Wow. First, the Administratum is unable to do his duty and ask for help, and now it has the audacity to criticize the verdicts of the rogue trader prefect. Your accusations do not merely cast aspirations on the competence of the Administratum. They challenge the sanctify of the decisions of the Emperor's anointed. These cases were under the jurisdictions of the Lex Dargonus. Responsibility for the consequences lies with you. Ooh, you answered all accusations in the Palace of Justice. Achievement. Your words are true. Crimes committed after verdict are cause for new convictions, not.
Marshal, enough!
Not a single muscle twitches on the prefect's face, but her eyes blaze with suppressed annoyance.
Moving on, defendant was placed in an unpredicted position of the trust of the Adeptus Administratum and the Administratum. He was entrusted with the coordinates of the worlds where the tithe of the entire Corona's Expanse was held. As agreed, the defendant was to transport the sacred tributes to Dargonus. But what did he do?
Wait, mercenaries did attack us, and she presented a mercenary group within her office before we went off. So I think it's her attack that was happening at the time. The Marshal snaps his fingers over Gladys' head. The Cybermassive flinches as if from a bolter shot, but immediately places another record. So, Lady Theodora intended to steal the tithe from the start. She arranged the world destruction to cover her tracks, installed the servants to keep an eye on things, and even made a contingency plan in case of her own death. Gladys replaying the conversation, so if I would have not talked to that dude, Gladys would have not that conversation recorded. That is so clever, Alcat. Holy crap. She arranged the world's destruction, and even made a contingency plan. All she needed was an opportune moment like this one. With the Expanse being torn apart, the planet's death looks convincing.
Tithe theft orchestrated by Theodora von Valancius, committed by the defendant, witnessed by Proctor Antha. In addition, the defendant led a fleet of his associates into a classified system, causing irreparable damage to the sacred tributes. As a result of the internal squabbling between the ruffians and the defendant, a number of barges were destroyed or stolen. You were unable to protect all the tithe barges?
I did protect all of them. I think this is a bug. We did protect all of them in that fight. And straight up jumped to Dargonus. I intend to return the tithe to Marshal Strax in full, regardless of Theodore's plan.
On the matter of the sacred tithe, rely on facts, not your words. That Theodora planned to steal the tithe is established fact. The destruction of Lethus is also beyond dispute. To allow you to execute your plan would have been highly imprudent. The sacred tithe is not intended to be used by anyone other than the Adeptus Administratum, the deliverers of his will.
Strax does not turn to look to Inscribia, but you have no doubt about whom he is addressing. The Adeptus Administratum, like the Adeptus Arbitis, only oversees the allocation of the tithe. I do not need to remind you of that, do I, Prefect? Vulture sets the pile of papers down heavily on the table and looks around the room.
Well, the proceedings are nearing the conclusion. The collection of the transgression of heresies that has been brought before this court of the God Emperor's servants has once and for all branded the rogue trader an abomination, who through all his deeds has sought to satisfy his pretty, base desires, rather than truly serve him. You are here today to witness the fall of the Van Valences dynasty and the long-awaited punishment that will be served upon it. House of Dargonus, do you reject the authority of this heretic?
Houses of Dargonus, wow. Good morning, 40 Emperor Jimmy, you're coming into a hot minute here. Holy crap. Governor Drivestem, oh. If I might interrupt, Mistress Vulture, we're much obliged to you for arranging this gathering. However, all that has now taken place here does not change the fact House Van Valences holds the warrant of trade. House Van Valences is a rogue trader's dynasty, and no amount of legal contortions will change that. House Drastem is loyal to the rogue trader. It would be the first to condemn the rogue trader of the Corona's expense for their flagrant disregard for the law, only I do not purport to pass off my opinion as justice. House Sauerback is loyal to the rogue trader. House Viserion is loyal to the rogue trader. It doesn't even say anything. Allow me to address you, even though I'm not of the first families of Dargonus. Proctor, Jaeger, Adeptus Arbitis, Lethus Outpost. Kormakrtv Van Valences has made every effort to not only save the tithe, but also the Arbitis contingent stations in Lethus. Oh yeah, we rescued them. I propose that such an act would have been entirely non-essential if the rogue trader was intent to simply stealing the tithe. End of report. She stiffens. This world and its denizens are rotten to the core. Decree GC 78189 supplements 982 for the tithe theft participant in foul sorcery and other crimes against the Imperial core maker Van Valences is sentenced to death. The property of the dynasty is hereby confiscated and placed under the oversight of the Adeptus Administratum. Any last words, convict? Oh boy. I mean, for those watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. By the way, this will be a harsh one because right here we're doing a cut, and you'll see the outcome of this in the next episode.